My name is Octavian Caius Obeada. I am retired family nurse practitioner, a Romanian Christian apologist, and educator currently living in upstate New York. Through my years of studying church history with theology and apologetics, I have been fascinated by the individuals whose decisions shaped the course of Christian civilization and influenced the relationship between faith, power, and society. Now, this book emerged from that enduring interest, and I'm honored to introduce Emperor Constantine, Pagan Pontifex Maximus, a work originally written by my father-in-law, Antonino Ramirez. Now, his extensive historical research and truthful analysis provide a fresh examination of one of the most influential and controversial figures in Christian history. I had the privilege of editing and preparing his English language edition, making this important study accessible to a wider audience. A few historical figures have generated as much admiration, debate, and controversy as Emperor Constantine the Great. For many Christians, Constantine is remembered as the emperor who ended persecution, legalized Christianity, and helped establish the church as a major force within the Roman Empire. His name is often associated with the Edict of Milan, the Council of Nicaea, and the emergence of Christian civilization. Yet history is rarely as simple or as popular memory suggests. Behind the traditional portrait lies a far more complex individual, a military commander, political strategist, imperial reformer, and a ruler navigating a world suspended between pagan Rome and emergency Christianity. And in this book, readers are invited to explore Constantine through both Christian and non-Christian sources, examining not only his achievements, but also the tensions, contradiction, and unresolved questions surrounding his reign. The studies investigate his continued use of pagan symbolism, his retention of the title Pontifex Maximus, his relationship with Christian bishops, his political ambitions, and the profound transformation of the Roman Empire during his rule. One of the central themes of Emperor Constantine, Pagan Pontifex Maximus, is that historical figures should be understood within the complexity of their own age rather than through the lens of later tradition and assumptions. Constantine lived during a period of extraordinary transitions, when ancient religious structures, political institutions, and cultural identity were being reshaped in the way that will influence the next millennium of Western history. This raised important questions. Was Constantine primarily a sincere Christian convert? Was he a pragmatic statesman using religions to strengthen imperial unity? Did he abandon paganism, or did he transform and repurpose its institutions? How did his policy permanently alter the relation between church and state? Now, those questions continue to influence modern discussion about political authority, religious liberty, cultural identity, and the role of faith in the public life. The book also moves behind simple judgments of praise or criticism. Instead, it invites readers to examine competing historical narratives, weigh of available evidence, and appreciate the complexity of a ruler who stood at one of history's most significant crossroads. Constantine did not merely govern an empire. He helped redefine it. He stood between two worlds, between the gods of Rome and the God of Christianity, between ancient tradition and emerging orthodoxy, between imperial power and the religious transformation. Ultimately, Emperor Constantine, Pagan Pontifex Maximus, it's an invitation to revisit one of history's most consequential figures with fresh eyes, intellectual honesty, and historical curiosity. Because perhaps Constantine was neither a flawless saint or of Christian memory, nor the villain of pagan Christianity. And perhaps he has something far more fascinating. A ruler standing at the fault line of history, helping shape a world that still influences our own. Emperor Constantine, Pagan Pontifex Maximus by Antonino Ramirez and edited by me, are available through Amazon, Google Books, and Apple Books.